The whistle sounded just once, long and low, as if the train itself knew something the people did not. It was the winter of 1893, and the town of Briar Hollow clung to the edge of the rail line like a memory afraid to fade. Snow rested heavy on rooftops and fence posts, and the station lamp burned through the darkness, its yellow glow trembling in the cold. Folks had gathered there before dawn, farmers with stiff hands, mothers wrapped in shawls, children standing on tiptoe, waiting for the morning passenger train due from the east. Among them stood Thomas Avery. He was a quiet man, broad-shouldered, with a face worn smooth by years of work and waiting. In his coat pocket lay a folded letter, thin as hope, written in a hand he knew better than his own. It had come 3 weeks earlier, carried by a rider instead of the rails. "I'm coming home. I'll be on the morning train. Please be there." It was signed by his younger brother, Samuel, gone nearly 10 years now, left as a boy, returning as a man. The station clock ticked loud enough to hear over the wind. 6:30 came and went. The rails lay empty, stretching into the white distance like two frozen promises. "Must be delayed," someone muttered. That happens sometimes. Snowstorms, broken switches, fallen trees. The railroad was strong, but winter was stronger. Thomas said nothing. He stared down the track, his breath rising in slow clouds, his heart beating in a careful, steady way, as if it had learned not to rush. At 7 o'clock, the station master stepped outside, his face pale beneath his cap. "There's been word. A telegraph from Miller's Ridge." The crowd leaned in. "There was trouble on the line, a heavy drift near Black Pine Cut. The train hasn't passed through." A murmur spread, worry sharp and quick. "Will it come later?" a woman asked. The station master hesitated. "We don't know." The lamp flickered. Thomas folded the letter once more and slid it back into his pocket. He remembered Samuel as he was last seen, standing at this same platform, too thin, too eager, waving like the world was opening just for him. Their mother had cried that day. Their father had turned away. Only Thomas had stayed still, afraid that if he moved, the goodbye would become real. Hours passed. The crowd thinned. One by one, people returned to their lives, carrying disappointment like a quiet ache. By noon, only Thomas remained. Snow began to fall again, soft and steady. The rails vanished beneath white, as if they had never been there at all. Near dusk, a rider arrived, hard and fast, his horse breathing steam. He spoke with the station master in low tones. When the man turned, his eyes found Thomas. The train struck the drift at full speed. The engine left the tracks. Cars splintered against the ravine. They were still searching, still counting names. There were no survivors. Thomas did not speak. He nodded once, slow and stiff, like a man accepting a weight he had carried long before this moment. That night, he walked the tracks until the town lights disappeared behind him. Snow filled his footprints as fast as he made them. The wind sang through the pines, and somewhere far off, metal groaned and settled. They never found Samuel's body. Some said the ravine swallowed him. Others claimed the river carried him west, back toward the places he had dreamed of. But every winter after that, when the snow fell thick and the rails lay quiet, Thomas returned to the station before dawn. He stood beneath the lamp, hands in his pockets, eyes fixed down the line. People asked why he kept coming. He always gave the same answer. He said, "Some trains run late." And in the hush before morning, when the world held its breath, there were those who swore they heard a whistle, long and low, calling out from beyond the snow, still trying to find its way home.